Okay, so now that I've described to you how to use tools and a little bit about tools, I want to talk about the materials we need to create the electrical circuits. So in front of me here I have two main spools of wire. So if we deal with the front one, it is what we call a 14-2 wire. And if you look on the wire cable, it has the 14-2. Okay, so the 14 is the gauge, and then inside this wire there is a white wire and a black wire, so that gives you the two wires, and then in the center is the bare ground wire. If we pull off the back roll, this is what we call 14-3 wire. So if you look on the sheathing of it, you'll find a 14 and a 3. So the 14 is the gauge, and then the 3 is that there's 3 wires inside that we can use. And if you look at it from the end, you'll notice there's a black, a white, and now we've added a third wire, which is the red wire, and then tucked in there is also a ground wire that we would all use to make a different electrical circuit. On the bench here I have what are called wire connectors or cable connectors. Often in the industry you'll hear them termed as barrettes. What they are used for is for connecting wires together. I'll show you this in detail later, but that's their basic function. We have a lamp holder. The lamp holder is used to hold a light bulb. Okay, and it's mounted, you'll often see them in houses mounted on the ceiling. They actually get mounted to these boxes. So this first box is referred to as an octagon box. Okay, inside the octagon box we have a ground screw, which is that screw there, and then we have the cable holders here. I'll show you this in detail, but the cable holders actually squeeze the cable in place. And again, the octagon box holds the lamp holder. Then we have your basic receptacle box. Okay, so you would see that in your house. It would be on the walls or or holding your switches. So in here you would see that configuration, or again if there was a switch on the wall you would see it in that configuration. And again, inside you'll notice at the back there's two ground screws, okay, inside the receptacle box. I touched briefly on these. This is your typical what we call a single pole switch, okay, so on and off position, and you'll notice on the side there are 1 and 2 terminals that we will use to connect wires to. A little different variation is what we call the three-way switch. So it operates the same, on-off, but you'll notice on the side there is a brass terminal and a black terminal, and then when you flip it around there is another brass terminal. So a three-way switch has 3 terminals, whereas a single pole switch only has the 2 terminals to work with. And then it brings us to the standard outlet plug. Okay, so it has brass terminals on one side, the silver terminals on the other, and a ground terminal. And this is where you would plug electrical appliances into for use at kitchen counters or wall mount plugs.